Welcome back, Ultima Weapons, it's the Night Sky Prince again. Dissidia Final Fantasy NT was a game that was off to a fairly rocky start. Since then, it's been struggling to recover from its widely considered poor release. But now, perhaps after considering the success of Dissidia Opera Omnia, Square has decided to retool Dissidia NT into a free-to-play game for PlayStation 4. If you've seen my video, Bad Sales, where Square Enix went wrong with Dissidia NT, nearly everything I predicted in that video with regards to how Square Enix could approach fixing the game by turning it into a free-to-play title has pretty much come to happen.
It could really work out, and that is reworking the game as a free-to-play game. Now, of course, anyone playing the game for free wouldn't get access to the full retail games roster, and they'd have to pay for additional characters, no story mode or anything else. But here's the kicker: anyone who's purchased the full retail game would get to keep all their current content, meaning people who
And I'm not saying I'm a fortune teller, but you might could say I've been to the future once or twice. Japanese magazine Shonen Gangan revealed that the free-to-play version will feature 6 characters at a time, rotated out on fixed intervals. Though currently, the amount of time for these fixed intervals is unknown, though in my personal view, these fixed intervals should be weekly or bi-weekly, so you don't feel like you're stuck with the same characters you don't want. Of course, if you want to keep a character permanently, you're allowed to purchase the characters for the price of 800 yen, which is roughly $7 United States dollars. Additionally, a character's second form set and fourth weapon and EX weapon can be purchased for an additional 300 yen and 100 yen respectively, which amounts to around $2.64 and 88 cents. The fourth weapon and EX weapon can also be equipped to the free-to-play characters, but only during their usage period. So you can buy the weapons independently, but they'll only be available if you have the characters during that rotation. It's said that this free-to-play version specializes in battles. Story mode is not playable, and the full specifications of some game modes are different than the full version, though we don't have full details on that yet. So if you're one of the people who's upset about the original main game's campaign, then Dissidia F2P isn't really going to draw you in much more. But if you want a pretty fun arena fighting game, then you really can't get a much better deal than this one. The free-to-play version can battle with other free-to-play users, or they can battle with people in the full version. So for many of you like me who still enjoy the game, you'll be much more easily able to convince your friends to play this game and be able to log in and play with you. And if you decide you want to buy Dissidia NT after playing the free-to-play version, then there's good news. Save data from the free-to-play version can be carried over into the full version, and for the Japanese audience, some data from the arcade version will also carry over. This approach of making a free-to-play version of the game might be the exact Phoenix Down that Dissidia NT needs. I still enjoy the game from time to time, but it's extremely difficult to get people to play the game with me, and I can't really blame them. Not many people are playing. The matchmaking is slow because honestly there's not enough people to matchmake with, and with the lack of revenue being generated by the game, it's getting much harder for Square to be able to continue to make updates for it in order to keep it relevant. This is exactly what Square needs to do in order to be able to generate money from the game again, and also allow people to try the game for free. Now I know what some of you may be thinking, that you paid money for the full game, and some people might feel ripped off, and honestly I don't think that you should. You still have the best deal here, as you get all the characters unlocked from the start. You get the story mode and all the other features unlocked without having to pay anything extra. That is, unless you want the Season Pass content. And considering you can oftentimes buy the game half priced at many retailers, the paid version of the game is still pretty much worth it. And I personally don't feel like my purchase was undervalued by the free version. In fact, I think more people playing and more people putting money into the game will only make the game better for us who bought the game from day one. Take for example with matchmaking. They really need to improve matchmaking, and the fact that this game is free now will do just that, as it will flood an audience of new players into the game and allow them to be able to play the game without any immediate cost. At times right now, getting on the game, I'll sometimes catch myself getting matched up against the same person multiple times within a play session. However, with more users now, that should alleviate this issue. The next major thing they should do with Dissidia NT is release a version of it for Steam. I think the free-to-play version would be extremely popular on Steam. And unlike with PlayStation 4, there won't be any PlayStation Plus as a barrier to entry. It also means that places like Brazil or India, where taxes are way too high for people to afford consoles, they'll be able to access the game for the first time. And they'll also be able to buy the particular characters that they want at much more reasonable prices. However, as the free-to-play version goes live and more people get drawn into the game, Square then needs to double down on improving the game's feature set. And yes, I'm just gonna say it, they need to have a ranked 1v1 mode. I know I've said this 1,000 times, and I know other people in this community have said it too, and it will require some specialized maps as maps are currently too big for that. It would also require some rebalancing as well, as the game is more suited for 3v3, but it's not impossible to create, and for balancing all they have to do is reference duodecim. So Ultima Weapons, will you be trying the free-to-play version of Dissidia NT if you haven't already? Paid users, do you feel like this can help reinvigorate the game and get people back to playing it? Subscribe, click the bell icon, and let me know in the comments below. And if you really love Dissidia, I mean really love Dissidia, be sure to head on over to our Facebook group, Ultima, Square Enix plus JRPGs. You'll get a free loot box that has a 50% greater summoning rate for rare waifus. Link in the description below.